Welcome back. I am here to talk about cancel culture and how morally deficient things turn into, all right, I'm just going to cancel and demonetize just based off of something I don't like versus something that is actually illegal. The problem that I see that happens with cancel culture is they look at somebody, they listen to what they have to say, and they just don't like it. So it's like, let's just get rid of it. And when you look at platforms like YouTube, Facebook, others that basically cancel, censor, or demonetize, shadow ban, whatever, pull back their views or whatever just because it's something that that person doesn't like. But yet, some of the nonsensical stuff they'll push because it's like, oh, ha ha ha, that's funny. Or, it's part of the culture. Oh, yeah, look how she's shaking her ass on that beach and all of this other stuff. So let's go ahead and push this video and look at all of the sexual stuff that she's doing or whatever. Oh, yeah, look at all of the, LGBTQ stuff that's going on. So let's go ahead and push all of that. I am perfectly fine with them pushing whatever they want to push. I kind of feel like let the people decide what they want to watch and what they want to go against, whether they like or dislike a video. There's some religious stuff that people ban, and then there's some religious stuff that goes to their values where people like, whether it's religious or spiritual or whatever. But when I talk about cancel culture, you know, I can easily talk about the Russell Brand stuff. I could easily talk about Cosby and other people. And when it gets to the point where something they do is illegal, does all of the content that's not part of that supposed to get banned too? You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I'm a small channel. I don't care if I got 5 subscribers or 1,000,005 subscribers. This is a small channel. We have fun here. We talk sports. We talk, social issues. We talk, relationships. We talk about everything. And different folks on this channel is comfortable with talking about different things. I have some that want to go down into the weeds with everything. I have some that only talk sports. I have some that only talk about whatever. And it's up to them. That's why I named the channel District of Unity. It's all of these different viewpoints that come together, and we don't always agree on a lot of stuff. That doesn't mean unity means utopia. This ain't the district of whatever. It's like we come together to express our different viewpoints sometimes, you know. Me and McLean, for example, we may disagree about the Vikings or whatever. That's nonsensical stuff because a lot of people had that very same conversation in their house or whatever. But that doesn't mean one or the other should be banned because he or, they disagree with whatever, you know. And if I have some woman on the channel and we come to a different, you know, viewpoint on certain issues, like age of consent. You know, most places, believe it or not, are 16 years old. Even within the United States, I think it's like 30 some states where it's like 16 years old for age of consent. And most countries, it's like 16 and below, believe it or not, because in some countries, I think the age of consent is like 13 years old. It's crazy. But what I may feel about it versus the law is two different things. Obviously, if I had a teenage daughter now, I'm like, hell no, she ain't doing this, she ain't doing that, because, that's what a parent does. You protect your own and so forth. But that policing is happening on my level because of moral, you know, beliefs, my value system. Your value system may be different than mine. We may dispute it. I may not like what you say. You may not like what I say, but we had the right to say it. Let that argument play itself out. You might be able to convince me that certain things are right. I may convince you that certain things are right or wrong or whatever. But that's why you have the discussion. You know, if YouTube, Facebook, and places like that all had the same message, what the hell is the point of watching it? You know what I'm saying? Just like the news. People get tired of hearing just one side of everything over and over again. When you kind of know that it's BS that's happening, it's like, hold up. I just heard this on ABC. Now I go to NBC, I hear the same thing. I go to CBS, I hear the same thing. I go to CNN, Fox, whatever. And it's the same thing. And it's the same retaliatory talking points. Like, you know, if Biden is doing this, then Trump is doing that. And I know, I'm not even getting into politics on this one, but the whole point that I'm trying to make is people's viewpoint is their viewpoint. That's why they put it out there. It's something different to talk about. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to agree with it. Hell, I may look at a video a month from after I posted it and be like, damn, I probably should have said that, or I don't agree with that anymore. We're human beings that evolve in our viewpoints, and in a lot of cases, we devolve in our viewpoints because it's like we look at society in different lenses sometimes. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's illegal. Just because you don't want somebody doing something mean that all of a sudden it should stop and that person should be banned and so forth. And even if somebody did something illegal, the stuff that they put out there may not be illegal, but does that mean that all that content that they ever did over the years that you may have laughed at, cried at, bitched about, whatever, that should be eliminated too? Where is the dividing line of cancel culture where it's like enough is enough? If I don't like you, I don't watch you. If you don't like me, you shouldn't watch me. If you love me, you should watch, like, subscribe, everything else. You know, just like if I love watching you, you should like, subscribe, and everything else on that channel or whatever. All it is an opinion that people have out there. And if you're not comfortable with that opinion or whatever, then make a comment and say, hey, I disagree with such and such. Maybe you can convince that person that they're wrong about certain things. Cancel culture does not work with anybody. It just emboldens that other side to attack more. And then you're going to create competition that you probably wouldn't have had before. Like all those years of Microsoft doing what they did as in terms of desktops and laptops, guess what? People started getting on cell phones or whatever. There's a lot of people that don't even need a computer in their house anymore to do half of the stuff that they need to do because they can do it all on their phone. You create competition against platforms that are unnecessary because you take a hard line on something and people are going to figure out a way, you know? Like Twitter, for example. Say what you want about Elon Musk, whatever he's done, whatever he said. You made an enemy when you didn't have to make an enemy. Now he's trying to take Twitter in a way where it's like, okay, I'm opening up free speech. Rumble is out there versus YouTube. Now you're opening up competition that you didn't have before because it's like, oh, I'm a shadow ban you because I didn't like the way you said this word or that word. I don't like your views on sex. I don't like your views on race. But you gotta have the discussion about it sometime because that's the only way we're going to get to understand each other. Because if everybody had the same message, if everybody comes on YouTube or whatever platform and they preach the same thing, if somebody swears to it and somebody else lies to it, I mean, it's like, what the hell is the point of putting out content? And it gets to a point where it's like, okay, somebody's going to come up with something at some point where they're going to allow a lot more than this other platform allows without a lot of the BS, nonsensical shadow banning and blocking that they do, or demonetization or view limits or whatever. And it's going to be a better platform. And you have these advertisers, you have the media and the government that always try to suppress a different narrative that they want to put out. And people out there just can't see it. They put all these people as good guys and bad guys. It is a viewpoint versus a counter viewpoint. They don't want us as people in this world to discuss something different because we're getting outside of their control or we limiting their access to control. When people start understanding what's really happening, they rather for you to watch that video of some woman twerking on some guy than what's actually happening with the truth out there. And when people start waking up to that fact, things will start to change. But nobody wants you to see that. They don't want you and I to get along. They don't want people in your house to get along. They want you to always feel uncomfortable and always have something against whatever. Hell, I can't even wear these socks out in public somewhere, because I got these USA brand socks, basically just showing Americana. I get some people that says, "Oh yeah, man, I really love those socks," and then I get some of the same people like, "How could you wear those damn socks with what America did to you?" and blah blah blah. Everybody has a right to their opinion. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully I ain't go too long and rambling about it, but that's how I feel about cancel culture. It just needs to stop. There's some things that are cancelable that if somebody comes out there and does something violent and it just gets to the point of being ridiculous and certain hate speech and if you're going to incite riots out there. But if you're just having a different viewpoint than other people, you know morally, ethically, or whatever, I could disagree with it, but it's your right to say something. And until we lose ourselves in that somebody else has the right to say whatever, yeah, you have the right not to listen to it or whatever, but that doesn't mean you should block them. And that doesn't mean you should ban them because then nobody will be on any platform because nobody can watch some of that crap. That's all I got. Until the next video.